I'm a single mom with 2 daughters.
Jamala and her family have been helped twice in the last 3 years by Interfaith Hospitality Network's shelter program for homeless families. In the program, families stay in IHN's network of churches and synagogues.
First time around when I landed at IHN, I was working at a health facility. I went on medical leave. I lost my job after that. They found someone to replace me. So I ended up at IHN because I owed, money. I got evicted from my place. I had lived at the apartment for 10 years with my oldest daughter. I was 8 months pregnant when I got evicted. Right after I lost the apartment, I stayed with a relative. And then, sometimes staying with relatives is not always the best thing. So then that's when I spoke with Miss Henry, and she pointed me in the direction of IHN.
Miss Dolly Henry works for Essex Newark Legal Services, where she recommends families in need to organizations like IHN.
It's a blessing for the organization like Interfaith. It's a blessing that they're willing to help the family during these crises. And not all of the shelters are in that position.
Being somewhere and being stable for 10 years, and then all of a sudden it just is wiped out from underneath you. It's a traumatic experience, something that I didn't know how to adjust to. All we had was each other, and my oldest daughter, I couldn't have done it, I don't think, without her, because she helped so much. So, she really helped me get through it. That first time we entered IHN, we came in the day before my daughter's 12th birthday. That's very hard to be able to tell your daughter, you're going into a shelter the day before her birthday, and you don't even know what you're gonna do the next day for her birthday. It was very hard, but we ended up having a day where we didn't have to concentrate on the problems. And, they bought cake and ice cream, and, we was able to go out to the movies and everything like that. So we tried to make the best of the time. It was heartbreaking.
During her first stay at IHN, Jamala worked very hard to find employment and get an apartment for her family.
Got a job, I got into an apartment. And as soon as I got into an apartment, I lost that job. They laid us off. I was working at IKEA. I had just moved into the apartment October 15th. They laid us off October 23rd. I felt like a failure. It was depressing. I went into a big depression because, here it is again that I hit rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was more or less, how do I explain this to my kids? You know what I'm saying? How do I explain to them that, once again, Mommy don't have no way to pay the bills.
The first time the family was homeless was very difficult for Jamala's oldest daughter, Jenna.
It was very hard for her as well in terms of school, friends. She didn't want nobody to know that we were homeless. And a lot of things changed. She started getting in trouble, grades started failing, And I took it personal because I felt like it was my fault. Because I couldn't give her home stability, and that was what she was used to.
Jamala's family isn't the only family in IHN to go through the heartache of losing their home.
The day that we actually left the apartment, I got up that morning and I took the kids to school. I went back to the house and I swept them up the apartment because everything was out already. And I locked the door. And I knew that I couldn't go back. And I knew that I didn't have somewhere for my kids to stay. I was just trying to plan my next move. and to see where my kids was gonna lay that night.
The first night we went to a hotel, we just had enough for one night, just for one night to go to a hotel. But the very next night was just, I believe, one of the worst nights of my life. Because I know that night we had nowhere to go and we're just calling around. So when that night came, for us to be walking in the dark, in the cold, and then have to resort to go to my father's house, he don't have the space for us. And I'm knocking on the door, he's asleep, he wouldn't wake up. And I never told anybody this before, but my family is sitting on the floor and outside his apartment, they fall asleep. And I'm praying, I'm walking back and forth and I'm praying and I'm crying and I'm thinking, I can't believe I let my family down. I felt like I left my wife and my kids down and my father, because he's looking down like, you know, you always want to make your parents proud. And now he's opening his door to us, my whole entire family. That was tough. That was very, very tough.
When you let us in, I just told the kids, they was telling me that they wanted to go home.
My goals right now is basically to find employment and be stable with a company, and then also to, you know, find a home for me and the children.
After 4 months in IHN's shelter program, Jamala's big day arrives.
Here are your keys.
All right.
Unit 301.
Yes.
Welcome to Walter Alexander Apartments.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is moving day.
This is a big day for you.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. These are brand new units. Matter of fact, I'm the first person moving in. So y'all really
It's our
been.
favorite day.
I know. Yes. This is like every family in the program's biggest day, to be able to move into their own place, to be able to bring my kids to some place where they can actually say, we're going home. So it's amazing. It's a great feeling. Oh, wow. Welcome to my home.
This is my favorite day. Moving day is the best day that we could ever hope for, and especially seeing her go into this brand new building, having a brand new apartment. I'm so happy for her, and I know she'll stay in touch with IHN so that we can continue to help her, you know, wherever she might need assistance.
That's what IHN does. Finds homes for families like Jamala's and helps those families stay in them.
I'm really excited and happy to. I feel like I got to start in a brand new chapter in life.
With our Home for Good program, IHN caseworkers help to give our families continuing support.
My experience with IHN has been incredibly phenomenal. Me and my family we greatly appreciate everything IHN have done for us.
With your help, IHN can make Jamala's family's dream of home a reality.
And I don't want to tear up right now, but I can finally say we're going to our own home now. And that's like the greatest feeling ever, to be able to walk through your own door.